Hi, welcome to Brand Deep Dive. This is where we look at single clothing designers and look at their new and used prices and see if it's worth buying as a reseller in the UK. This episode is Paul Smith. Paul Smith started his company in 1970 in Nottingham, selling mainly men's clothing. It has now expanded to over 160 stores internationally, with also sections in various department stores such as John Lewis. It has an annual turnover of 197 million. Today, Paul Smith sells not just men's clothing but also women's and children's as well. As well as the Paul Smith London brand, he also has PS Paul Smith, which is for the casual range, Paul by Paul Smith, which is for women's clothing, and also Paul Smith Luxury. Paul Smith was awarded a knighthood in 2000, the second clothing designer to be awarded after Hardy Amis, and in 2022 became a Companion of Honour. He is famous for his trademark multicoloured stripe design, which you can find in various items of clothing and also on his logo. And also the multicoloured zebra, which is also embroidered on many of his t-shirts and polo shirts. Famous for classic British tailoring in both his men's and women's wear. He is also famous for dressing the likes of David Bowie, Lionel Richie, and many footballers. So now let's have a look at some prices. Paul Smith is a luxury high-end store, and therefore the prices are generally over £100 per item. These prices are from the summer season website, and these are the recommended retail prices. They may be available on sale for cheaper than this, but this is the starting price for most of these goods. So we'll start off with the menswear and shirts, which start at around £125 to £250, depending on the design and the desirability, I guess. T-shirts are £60, polos £85, jeans come in at around £150. Coats and jackets, £180 to £250. Jumpers at £200. Trousers, £150 to £300. Shorts at £60 to £300. And suits, the most expensive item, from £1,000 to £1,600. Women's wear, dresses, £300 to £600. Skirts, £200 to £400. Tops, £150 to £400, trousers £100 to £300, coats £400 plus, and jumpers £250 to £300. Kids wear is quite expensive, and it goes from about £40 to £80 per item. Now let's have a look at the used. Now this is got to be one of the biggest drops in prices that I've seen between new clothing prices and used clothing prices. The value of Paul Smith just literally plummets. You can expect to pay 90% off from new to used. So let's have a look at the prices. Starting off with men's again, we have shirts 15 to 25, t-shirts 10 to 15, polos 15 to 25, jeans £20, coats and jackets £30 to £100, jumpers £20 to £30, trousers £20 to £30, shorts £35, suits £50 to £200. Suits do not sell well on eBay, and therefore the prices have just catastrophically collapsed. Right, if you look at the women's clothes, it's the same story. Dresses £30, skirts £15 to £30, tops £30, trousers £25, coats £40 to £100, jumpers £20 to £30, and the kids wear round about £10 to £20. So now let's have a look at the eBay selling prices and sell-through rates. So we've got a table here featuring all clothing, men's clothing only, women's clothing only, and kids clothing only. And then we have another section for buy it now used. So the first one includes also brand new with tags, also any seconds and that sort of thing. It's just everything. And it has an average selling price of $34.56, which is quite healthy. Men's slightly less at $33.78. Women's slightly more at £43.30. So women's wear more desirable in this brand, interestingly enough. Kids wear £12.83, which isn't bad for kids wear, but again, I wouldn't necessarily recommend selling kids wear on eBay. It's a difficult sell. Average selling price for buy it now is obviously a lot less, and this is for used clothes, not new with tags. So 28.33 an average there. Sell-through rate very similar though, 11.61, 12.67 and 8%. So women's clothes has a lower sell-through rate, but the price point is higher. So it sort of averages out, and the profits for if you were to sell 100 of these items, and at the average sell-through price, at the average sell-through rate, this is the amount of money you would get. £303.96 for everything. If you're just selling men's clothes, £311, women's £313, and kids £141. Let's have a look how that matches up to the others that we've done in the series, and it is a long way ahead. So we've got $303.96 is the highest we've had so far between Fat Face, Ted Baker, and Weird Fish. And so I would definitely say Paul Smith is a very good product to buy if you are a reseller. It sells through quite well, and as you can see, if you had 100 of them to sell during the month, this is the sort of price you would be getting back for your investment. Now, when you come to identify Paul Smith clothing, you are looking for good quality stitching, nice materials, and also the Paul Smith label. Make sure that wash label matches what you're expecting from the top label, and most labels have the Paul Smith signature in there. Paul Smith PS range and also Paul Smith jeans may have had a different logo at certain points. Look out for those as well, but they are also legitimate. But make sure that the wash label is good and not a generic one. Beware of the brand Paul R. Smith. This is a different company, not Paul Smith at all, despite the similarities with the signature. It is a non-affiliated brand. Well, that's the end of this video. I hope you found some of that information really useful. Normally at this point I would say what my next video is going to be on. I'm not sure which one to do, so please leave in the comments any suggestions for any brands you'd like me to cover. These are for UK resellers, so these are brands that you can reasonably expect to find in the UK to sell online. Thanks for watching. See you next time.